So I was listening to the radio this morning, and Charlemagne on Power 105.1 Radio asked the question of death. And he asked, because of what happened with Kobe Bryant and the others that passed in the helicopter accident, he just asked, why do people feel the way they feel about death? I know for me, death is something that's hard because it is finite. Once it's done. Nobody comes back from that. And it's permanent in the sense of I can't see this person anymore. I can't talk to them when I want to. I feel like the person, even though we all are guaranteed to die once you're born, that's it. Once you live, you die. I feel like it's still unfair at times, and we kind of can't grasp we just can't wrap our heads around it. It's hard to put into words, but I just know for me, death is just so unfair. It always feels like it takes someone too soon. And I've had people in my life die that were very young. It seemed like their lives were just starting. I've had people die who were parents, so kids grew up without their parents. That's very hard. So I know for me, death is just one of those things where we know it's coming, we know it's inevitable, but it's kind of like the movie Out of Time. Even if you knew how much time you had, what would you do? Some people do live like they are gonna die tomorrow. They are spontaneous, fearless, they do whatever. Then you have some people who act like they have all the time in the world and they procrastinate like a mother and don't do anything. So, to have death just happen to somebody who felt like it was somebody's friend. A lot of people just liked Kobe. A lot of people liked what he stood for. He wasn't perfect, but he was a family man. He was a great player. He showed great work ethic. So just the things like that he did, it just made a lot of people just like him, and for it to be him and children on the plane, and this thing severed so many families because it took multiple families' lives. So it's just very, very hard to deal with. So like I said, I know, different people deal with death in different ways. And for some people haven't even experienced death yet. Or if they've experienced death, it's been so far removed that they just really did not understand it. So I think that's why this situation has been as hard as it's been for people, because everybody can think of Kobe in some aspect, whether it was basketball, music, his philanthropic efforts, even when he was on Brandy's show Moesha, and then we watched him, at least my generation and older, we watched him go from being selected in the NBA, even playing in high school, going to where he was. He was one of the first people that I knew that was really worldly, and he lived in Italy and could speak fluent Italian, but also speak like he was from the hood. So it's just, he seemed like a very relatable person. And when somebody that's very relatable passes, it really, really touches you because you're in shock. And then you have to go through the stages of depression and the stages of grief. So I think we all are just still in shock and very saddened by it. We think about his family. We think about everybody that was affected in it. We think about how to move forward from this. And his wife, she lost not only a husband and father of her children, but she lost one of her children too. And I can't imagine not having my babies. We always think about giving birth and having the baby and enjoying them and them getting older and going off to college and living their own life. And we hopefully get to be there and be grandparents. But, to have children's lives cut short like that, we don't really think about that. So it's just been a lot overall.